All right, my wife says that because I'm very punctual, I should start. She usually keeps me on track. So we'll go ahead and get started, guys. I appreciate you coming out tonight, being the summer. I know we've all got summer plans, vacations. Some of our people are, traveling, things like that, trying to get that last trip or two before school starts. I do appreciate you coming out on a day when, I don't know where you were around 3:30 or 4 o'clock, but if you were at Albany High, you know how scary the weather got for about 15 or 20 minutes. That was brutal. So I know it was kind of rough earlier too with the weather. But again, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming out this evening. My name is Sammie Lacara. I am the new principal at Albany High School. Now, I thought it was kind of funny to come here, say I was going to introduce myself to you because most of you probably know who I am or have met me, particularly if you're from the community with AYA, or just when I was at Albany. I was a teacher, coach there, graduated from there, which I'll kind of get into a little bit more of that in a few moments. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of just reintroduce myself to you as parents, as stakeholders, to Albany High School as I come in as principal, because that is going to be a new role for me and for you, for me to be in. So, welcome. 2022, 2023. When you say that, it is very frightening. We had the freshman meeting the other night, and I think it was welcome class of 2026. My sister-in-law, who was in there because my nephew's a freshman coming in, walked in and looked at that, walked straight up to me and said, "Really?" It is what it is, okay? And many of you who are in this room, 2026 isn't what you're looking at. It's 2025, 2024, or even 2023, okay? So that's where you are. So I know we have a mix of folks here from everything. Probably we have some people that were at the freshman meeting who've chose to come out here again. I appreciate that. To people that have seniors, juniors, and even sophomores. So, let's just jump right into it. I'm like most of you, all right? I love the memes that you see on Facebook. The ones that says, "How I see myself and how everyone else sees me." Okay, well, so how I see myself. You walking down the hallways, everybody's clearing out of the way. Don't mess with that guy. If he looks at you, you know what to do. Don't even question it. But you, like I have met these people, and you know who I'm talking about. Those students, and of course, this is probably how more I look like by the end of the day there, is why did you, what, you did that, why? What, are you kidding? But that's, honestly, that's my two sides. I can be and will be, at times, the serious guy who says, this is what I want, this is what I expect, and we'll get into that in just a few minutes, some of those, expectations. But I also enjoy being around the kids. I enjoy teaching the kids, even though I'm not a teacher in the classroom anymore. They make me laugh. Things that they'll do during the day that drive me crazy, I will go home and laugh about, okay, because of some of the things they do, because they are, and I have my own at home that they do things, it's the same way. So we all have those little bit of, so you can be this guy, but you're also this guy as well, or you're that person. I want you to know that no matter what, I am approachable. If you have an issue, reach out. If you have a question, reach out, okay? We may not end up seeing eye to eye, but I can promise you I'm going to do what's in the best interest of your child, of Albany High School, and of this community. Okay? So don't be afraid to approach me about things. I will sit down. I will listen, and I will have an open mind. I promise you that. And I'm making that promise to you here, and I want you to echo that to people who are not here, maybe that you know, that is who I am. So a little bit about me, a little bit about my backstory. I graduated from Albany High School, class of 1993. Graduated Southeastern 1999. Yes, it took me 6 years. Or thereabouts. Maybe 5.5, I don't know. I was in the Louisiana Army National Guard. That's how I paid for my college. And students, listen to this. You have opportunities now to pay for college that I never had. Okay? I didn't mind doing this, don't get me wrong, but I had to join the military, basically sign on that dotted line for 6 years of my life for them to pay my college. There was no such thing as TOPS, and if there was, I never heard of it. Some of the scholarships they have now, some of the opportunities, they were not there. And the CTE credits and things that you can do now in high school that I'll talk about in a few minutes, that didn't exist. So that was my inroad to college, was to join the military, have them pay a portion of my tuition, which when I look back on it was amazing because I think it was like $1,200 a semester. Does anybody know what it is to go to Southeastern right now a semester? Anyone? Yeah, gentleman back here says about $4,000. I couldn't believe that. Okay? So if you have an opportunity to find a way to go to college, to cut mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever, some slack, please do it. Okay? It is expensive. I also taught at Albany High. For 6 years, I taught at Walker Junior High for my first six years of my career. Then I came to Albany High. I was there for 7 years. Taught civics, taught free enterprise. Couldn't stand free enterprise, but I had to teach it. World geography, American history. And I was there for about 7 years. Then I had an opportunity to move into administration at what was then Walker Freshman High, which is now, again, Walker Junior High, where I started. Here's a story. Just if you ever leave a place and you had really neat clothing and you say, you know what, I'm never coming back, I'm going to get rid of this stuff, do yourself a favor, keep it. I had some really cool stuff when I left Walker, and then I got back there and I was like, I'll never need this again. And then I was like, man, it'd be nice to have that stuff. So I'm not getting rid of anything that I have anymore. Most of you, again, may know me from Albany Youth Association. I was president of that from 2015 to 2022. I loved being a part of AYA. I have since given that up. Somebody else's turn to do that. But what is good, and what I did learn from AYA was much like with the school system, how to deal with parents, how to deal with students, children, how to deal with conflict. I know most of you might think AYA ran very smooth, but I got news for you. There were moments, like everything else, that were challenging. And just like you, I'm a stakeholder, okay? Right here in the front row, okay, are some of, I think everyone but one of our children that we have. He's graduated from Albany High School. He's living in Colorado, but I have my daughter who graduated just ahead of him. And then I have senior, junior, sophomore, and 8th grader who will be at Albany High School next year. So just like you, I am a stakeholder. The school, Albany High School, and the Albany system mean just as much to me as it does to you, because I have children who attend there. And not just children, I have cousins, I have nephews, okay? Between my nephews now, it doesn't matter now that I'm principal, I guess, God bless it for that, that opportunity. But even before that, I was not going to miss an Albany High graduation for like the next decade, because somebody was graduating that was kin to me, family, or even one of my own children. This is home. Albany will always be my home. I spent many years in Walker, and actually the majority of my career in Walker. And I love Walker. I love those folks. And yes, I know I got Wildcats for Life tattooed on the back of my truck. Please don't read anything into that. That was my staff. They did that. I didn't. It was a joke. Outside of that, and the balloons they stuffed my truck with before I got to leave. But this is home for me. And I am enjoying being back home. People say, you know what, I got that job and I never worked a day in my life. Well, I know there are going to be more challenging days ahead than what we've had so far than I've been here, but I haven't worked a day since I've been here. Okay? And that's just how I feel. So I just want to let you know how much I do love this community, love this town, and love the people that are a part of it. Real quick, I'm going to go through some dates, some things that are important. This will actually be posted on our website, Facebook. So if you want to go back and reference it, please, by all means. Orientation is going to be next week, Tuesday. Seniors, 8:30 to 10:30. Freshmen will be 11:30 to 1:30. And there they'll be able to pay their fees, parking spots if they drive, pick up their books, pick up their schedule, take their pictures for their IDs, so please have them wear their uniforms. And that would probably be also a good opportunity if there is a question about the uniform, which I'll kind of talk about in a few minutes, that you can say, hey, is this okay? And that way we can look at it at that moment and tell you, yeah, no, that's not good, that's not cool, we need to probably wear something else. The next day, Wednesday, August 3rd, juniors 8:30, 10:30, sophomores 11:30, 1:30. And then the first day of school that I know all the kids in the room just can't wait to, as I look around, I see the looks. Yes, August 9th, first day of school. I'm excited. And I know people say, you can't. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm excited. I'm apprehensive. I'm nervous. I'm every emotion you can imagine. I don't know if I'm going to be sky high or down here. I'm not quite even sure where I'm going to be just yet that day. But I know where I'm going to be emotionally, because it's going to be emotional. But I know where I'm going to be at, and that's going to be at Albany High School, and I'm looking forward to that. So just to go through this real quick, the daily schedule. Students, they're going to arrive by 6:55. That's car riders, buses. They won't let off till 6:55. First bell 7:15. That's pretty much what it was last year. I think I moved it up 1 minute, bumped it by 1 minute. Dismissals 2:31. Again, pretty much about where they were last year. Now, here's something that I know we're going to do at this time. Parking, the student parking lot, which is the one right there by the gym. The gates going in that. After school starts, that gate will be locked. Okay, so if you want to come on campus for some reason, you won't be able to access through there. So you'll have the other two options at this point. And I say at this point because we may revisit this and look at it for safety, because, guys, one of the things I am very serious about is safety. And I want to keep our students, your children, my teachers, staff, whoever, as safe as possible. So I'm going to do, even if it's inconvenient, I'm going to do what I need to do to keep them as safe as possible. So right now the gates that are, I say, south and north of the football field, for those of you who don't do the north and south thing, the gate that comes through between the elementary and the little parking lot that passes right there by the football field, or the gate on the opposite side of the football field that comes down the main road from the lower elementary. At this time, those are your two access if you have to come on campus for some reason. All right, so just a little bit about leadership team who's working around me. Miss Amy Carter, assistant principal. So you probably know Miss Amy. Curriculum and attendance, that's her email. So if you have a question about curriculum, attendance issues, things like that, she will be the person that you would want to contact. With discipline and transportation, we have Mr. Watts. He is going to handle, again, if you have a bus issue, if you have questions about a bus, if there's a discipline issue, they're going to get in trouble. It's okay. It's not personal. It's business. Okay? I know this about me, and I don't believe this about Mr. Watts or Miss Carter or any one of our staff. We don't wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, and say, who can I get today? I would rather them stay out of my office. I really would. But we know, again, you've met these people. It's going to happen, okay? But understand that when we have to deal with them from a discipline standpoint, it's business, okay? It's business. It's not personal. We're not out to get them. We're not trying to get rid of them, okay? We just have to follow through with what we have to do. And there are lessons to be learned in that, okay? But always know we will err on the side of your child. I used to tell people this all the time. There's what I can do and what I'm going to do. That all depends. Miss Stacy DeRoos, most of you know her as Coach DeRoos. She's the girls' basketball coach. She will be moving into more of an administrative role this year as well. She's our athletic director, but she'll be helping with some instructional things as well. And then Mr. John Lights, I think he goes by Jay, but John Lights, that's his email. He is our school counselor. All right, so let's get real for just a few minutes. Yesterday is history. And I mean that because coming from Walker junior high, Walker freshman, people would come in, and say, well, when my child went to West Side last year, and I would say, ma'am, I appreciate that, but this is not West Side. Well, that AP did it. I understand, ma'am, but we're not that person. And I'm not judging or saying that person did the wrong thing. Give us a chance. That's what I'm asking. Okay? And if your child, your student follows through with what they're supposed to follow through with, we're going to get along fine. Okay? So, the old saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. The only thing I can control is today. What sets us apart? When I say us, I'm talking about Albany. We all know what people used to say, and they still kind of say it, Free State Albany. Okay? Again, drawing from my experiences at Walker, does anybody know how many students that school is going to have this year, I think, when they open up the doors? 2,200. Around 2,200 is what I've heard. Now, Walker's still Walker, but it is so big, and it has become so large and so massive, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't feel like the small community school that I know people that grew up there would tell you it feels like. And again, not saying it's a negative, it's just different. We haven't lost that. And I think that is not only is that what sets us apart, it's what we have in common. Our school system, that high school, those two elementaries and the junior high, is what we have in common. We could probably take a poll, and I ain't going to do it, but we can probably find everybody in this building, Republicans, Democrats. We could find Protestants, Catholics, people who choose not to believe, whatever. We all have something in common, and it's that school system. It is a unifier, and it should be. So we are unique in that it unifies us. It is still a small community school, which is, guys, you don't see that much anymore. You don't. And we don't want to lose that. We want to take it, we want to celebrate it, we want to thrive upon it. And it makes us unique. It makes us unique. They say, well, you're kind of maybe a little bit of a dying breed. That's okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. It makes us unique, and that's what I love about it. All right, so you're going to start hearing a few things. Some of you probably already seen this one. This goes back to my coaching days at Albany. Hornets lead the way all the way. It started as a football thing with my offensive linemen. We called them Hogs for nickname, and it was Hogs lead the way. I kind of stole that from the Army Rangers. I don't know. I might get dinged for that one day. I don't know. But what happened is the offensive linemen really embraced that, and it really brought them together. Well, those receivers and those quarterbacks and those running backs, they get jealous. They're like, how come we don't have something? So eventually, it just morphed into Hornets lead the way, all the way. But it's a mindset. It's an attitude. Okay? We're not only going to lead. I not only want for us to lead, I want us to lead the whole way. Not halfway, not part of the way, not the beginning, all the way. High school experience. If you asked me, did I enjoy a particular class in high school, I'd probably, depending on what it is, I'd probably tell you no. Did I like that test that I took? No. Did I like high school? Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. And you should. And they should. It should be an enjoyable experience because it is not only about academics, even though that is the main reason they are there, but it is also about the social development of our kids, and it should be something that they enjoy. So I do want them to enjoy it, and it is my goal for them to enjoy it. Now, there are limits to enjoyment, but we can have fun and get our business done at the same time. Top of the list. Go to principals meeting. I'm going to one tomorrow. And we'll look at data. Guess who's going to be at the top of every list? Albany High School. Anybody know why? Starts with A. That's about to change. I don't want to be the top of the list anymore just by default. I want us to be the top of the list because that's what we've earned and that's where we belong. Now, this guy can't do it. Okay? I can't do that. That's on all of us. When I took this job, I knew very full well going into it, I can't do this thing alone. And I would be foolish thinking I could. It takes a team, it takes a school, it takes a community. But we can get there, and that's where I want to go. And people say, well, you better be careful how. You know what? I'll take it. I'll own it. I will say I wanted to go there. Reach, what's the old saying? Reach for the stars, shoot for the stars, maybe get the moon. Okay? That's where we want to be. How do we do that? Expectations. Everyone. Students, teachers, parents. You're part of this process. You want to be a part of this process. You see this around the country all the time right now. People are really getting back involved in their children's educations for one reason or another. Expectations, we all have them. We will have them at Albany High School moving forward. I'm not saying anything in the past. I'm just saying I have expectations, and I intend not only to hold the students and the teachers to them, but myself included. I just stood here before you, told you where I wanted to take the school. I expect me to do that, at least my part. Accountability. Being accountable. What you're supposed to do. This is intrinsic. Inside. You wake up every morning and say, today I am going to school to give my best effort, be it a student or be it a teacher or a custodian, para, administrator. Be accountable to yourself. That's what I expect, because I am the same way. I am going to be accountable not only to myself, but to you as a community, to my students, because they are why we are there. If the students didn't show up, I don't have a job. I used to tell a custodian that all the time. She'd walk around all mad because she said, people keep putting garbage on the garbage can. I'm like, that's job security. I don't know if you realize it. Would you rather people not have to put their garbage in? We're looking for somebody else to do your job, or not at all? And responsibility. Sometimes we may fall short. We're going to take responsibility when we do. Just like I said it. If I don't get there, I'm going to own it. Responsibility, accountability, expectations. We live by those three things, we will be successful. You're going to see a little bit, maybe a little throwback to the old school. Sorry, I'm an old school guy. But I do believe that Albany High, just like any school, there's branding, they call it now. I do believe people need to be able to recognize us. And when they see us, they see that mascot or they see that logo and they know that's Albany High School. I had just a single letter A one time. This was many years ago. I walked in and a lady, she looked at it. Now it's in maroon. She looks, she goes, oh, Amy? No. Alabama? No. Try again. Arkansas? No. All right. I want people to know who we are. And again, so you'll start seeing a little bit more of that old school kind of unified, that's where it's. All right, so let's get a little bit academic here, a little double entendre there. Graduation pathways. Most of you probably know this. I'm just going to kind of go through this really quick. This is just kind of a refresher, so just hang with me. If you were freshman meeting, you got probably a better dose of this. Albany High School, in high school, you get two graduation paths. You have TOPS and you have Jump Start. TOPS is kind of your old school 2 to 4 year college type of student. That's where they're going. They're bound and determined to go to college for whatever it is they're pursuing. Jump Start is something, again, that is new. And I kind of alluded to it a few moments ago about where you can actually walk out of a high school now with a credential on your diploma that allows you to walk straight into a job making very good money, making a very good living. And I'm not just talking for short term. I'm talking for a career. These are opportunities, you and parents out there, we didn't have that. These opportunities are there for your children now. Now, that you receive, as I said, credentials in a career technical education is called CTE. So TOPS, 24 credits. They have to have an ACT score. That score varies depending on how much TOPS money they get or what university they're trying to get into. But they can also earn the CTE credits. Okay, I kind of have this situation with my own kids. One of them is very much college bound, but has found that he has a love of welding. So he can get that credential, he can get certified in welding, but he can also go to college. So he actually is able to kind of do a 2-for-1 there. Okay? And again, all our kids are different. And I say all our kids, not just meaning yours and mine, I mean mine. I have college bound that can probably do something in the CTE world, and I got one right now that I don't think I could get him out of an ag shop if I had to, because he's always building something. Additional things that we offer: advanced placement, that's your AP. AP, that's the classes they take. It is very rigorous. It challenges the student. I don't like to say, oh, it's hard. No, it challenges them. Okay? I heard a motivational speaker the other day, and my wife actually sent this to me. It said what happens is we don't, her point, I'm trying to remember how she made it, but basically she says, we learn how to deal with hard. Okay? Her point was, we go through things, we learn how to deal. That doesn't become easier. We just learn how to deal with it. AP, that's going to test them. That's going to push them. That's going to stretch that mind, and that's what we want. So you take the AP exam. If you get a 3 or higher, it's scored at 5. It's not a fail, pass, fail. It's just you have to make a certain score on it. Then you get that as a college credit. Again, something we didn't have opportunity. We didn't have opportunity to get college credit in high school when I was in there. I know you didn't either. Dual enrollment. This is where you actually take a class, maybe partnered with Southeastern or North Shore Technical Community College, and you pass that class, you also get that credit to that institution. And those credits sometimes will transfer. I think Southeastern pretty much works with everything North Shore does. So you can get it through North Shore, turn around, and it will transfer to Southeastern. And it just makes sense to have Southeastern and North Shore because they are both right now the two closest institutions to us. North Shore is a community college, got 3 or 4 different locations within however many miles of here. Southeastern's right down the dang road. Honors. They put an E. I made a joke with the first. I don't know why it's an E. I don't know. Maybe excellent. I don't know. But they put an E after it. But anyway, that's, again, it pushes you. It's on a 10-point grading scale. And it looks good on a transcript when you have taken those honors classes. And again, it's all about pushing the students, stretching their minds. Oop, ahead of myself. And then CLEP. Let's say your child takes a class, AP class. They take the AP exam, they don't reach that 3. The world ain't ended. They can go take the CLEP, which is college level examination program. And if they pass that CLEP test with a score high enough, they still get that 3 hours of credit. Okay? And parents, have any of you in here heard of Modern State's freshman year for free? Please look it up. Because what I'm about to tell you, you're going to say that's too good to be true. It's true. Your child can go on Modern State's freshman year for free, sign up, take a tutorial that they do at their own pace. When they finish that tutorial, they submit a whatever to Modern States, I don't know, whatever you call it, a form or what. They'll give them a voucher that will pay for the CLEP. You ain't got to pay a dime. They go take the CLEP test. Guys, they can get 3 hours of college credit for free. How many college credits could they possibly have before they get out of school, before they get out of high school to go to college? That's why they call it freshman year for free. Guys, you could just about blow their entire freshman year, be done with it, and not have to pay a dime for it. Please, if your child's going to college, look that program up and take advantage of it. It is completely, I'm going to butcher this word, philanthropical, nice people that give their money. That got way more than I got, okay? But guys, if you don't know, look it up. Please take advantage of that. Jumpstart's 23 credits, 14 core requirements. So there's classes they still have to take, but then they can get 9 hours of what's called industry-based electives in a chosen career pathway. That includes the universals, meaning some classes that transfer over, that not transfer, but they go with all those pathways. So almost think about it like a major in college, in a sense. The pathways that we offer at Albany High School are architecture and construction, business management, health science, hospitality and tourism, arts/audio, video, technology, communications. I know you're saying, well, what jobs can they get with that? Okay, well, I'm ahead of myself. Louisiana, it's called louisianabelieves.com or .org or whatever. I'll show it in a minute. But it's the website for the Louisiana Department of Education, okay? It will tell you what they can do coming straight out of high school, or for a 2-year university, or for a 4-year university with those CTE credits. It's really neat. As I said, our academic dual enrollment and CTE dual enrollment through Southeastern and North Shore. So that's who we partner with. What is a credit? Most everybody kind of understands this, but it's basically what they call a Carnegie unit. It's, that credit that they get when they pass that class. The thing with credits is some people don't understand that you have to have 23 or 24 to graduate. Albany High School, we're on a 7-hour schedule for 4 years, so that's 28. So you figure, okay, well, they got plenty of, they even flunk a few, and they're still okay. Well, not so fast, because there are certain credits that are built in they got to have. For instance, I always throw Algebra 1 out there, because Algebra 1 tends to be one that some of the kids will struggle with a little bit. I know I struggled, I can just say that, okay? But they have to have that credit to graduate. I don't care if they have 27 credits in May of that senior year. They haven't passed Algebra 1, they're not graduating. So do understand within those credits there are some of those what we call must-haves that they have to have. Weighted grades, are y'all all kind of familiar with this? How grades are looked at differently now. Used to be the old days, something was for so many points, you took them, they took that, they divided it, and that gave you your grade. I have a very ridiculous example of this in my freshman PowerPoint, so if you want to go back and look at that, because I just wasn't going to go back into it tonight, but how weighted grades work. What I just wanted to point out so you understand that when you look at their grades and you say, well, they've turned in all their homework, they've turned in all this classwork, they've got A, they got one F and it's in one test. How is their grade a D? Because that test, that major assessment, was 40% weighted with their grade. And we moved toward this several years ago when it was, what we were finding out was, kids were flying out of high school with all A's and B's, and they were going to college, and they were failing out of college because they were not grasping the material. They were just doing the work, and there was nothing wrong with it. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. But they could get a bad grade on a test, but that was okay. You turned in all your homework, you turned in all your classwork, you did just fine. Okay? So be careful with grades. Understand you need to stress to them the importance of taking tests seriously, preparing for exams, or what we call assessed for accuracy, which is an assignment that is graded for correctness, not just did you do it. Again, for more information on that, I go in a little more in depth with my freshman parents, because I learned one thing at Walker Freshman was that a lot of our kids came from the junior high to freshman, and a lot of the kids and a lot of the parents didn't understand the differences in the grading periods. They didn't understand the differences in Carnegie semesters. It was new for them, and I wanted to make sure my freshmen coming in had a little bit better understanding. So I did put that, kind of went into that more in depth in the freshman PowerPoint, but please, by all means, feel free to look it up if you want to get a little bit more information or kind of a refresher on that. Also, there you go, www.louisianabelieves.com, courses. If you want to look up Jumpstart and some of the jobs that they can get through those Jumpstart pathways, it's all right there. I looked at it again today. It's very, believe it or not, it's very user-friendly. Sometimes, you can get on some of these websites, you get lost, but it's very user-friendly. All right, some things new and some things the same. This is what the students, I'm sure, came for. I know the students recognize this. Albany High School has cell phone zones. I think they had a red zone, a green zone, a yellow zone. Green zone was you could use your cell phone. Yellow zone, you could use your cell phone with permission. Red zone, this is a no cell phone zone. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you where the cell phone zones were right up ahead of time with Albany High. Now, I know what you're saying. I know what the students are saying. Don't worry about that. Guys, I am not saying, God forbid, something happens on that campus bad, and your child picks up that cell phone and calls you, that I'm going to be worried about putting them in a detention or whatever because of that. You know they have to have those phones. I know they have to have those phones. Okay? And I'm not saying they can't have them. But while we are conducting school business, unless they are so given permission by myself, because it's all going to come through me, inevitably, okay? There are stipulations with those cell phones, and this is in line with the parish policy with Livingston Parish School Board. They need to be powered off, put in their book sacks. So they can have them. I ain't said they can't have them. They need to be turned off. Not on silent, not on airplane mode, not on do not disturb, not on the little sound that the adults can't hear in the room but the kids can hear. Supposedly there's like a ee, and the older you get, they say you can't hear it. I don't know. But I do believe there's something to it, because I have sat in a room full of junior high kids and freshman kids, and I couldn't hear it, but and you could see them all looking around the room going. So they knew something was up. But they need to be turned off. Turned off, put in their book sacks, please. Okay? First offense, it's a detention, and we're going to call you. I will turn their phone over to them at the end of the day, that time. Because I know you want them to have, guys, I know that's your only line of communication with them sometimes. It was the same thing with my kids. Okay? Still is. But, so one time, I'll work with them. After that, suspension, and you're coming to pick up the phone. Okay? Now, you want to come pick it up 10 minutes after I call you? That's fine. I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to charge you for it. I don't want the dang thing. But we're going to keep it until you come get it. Now, some of you might say, well, you know what? You could keep it for a week. I'll do that too. I've had that happen. I was cleaning out my desk at Walker Jr. I found a cell phone. I still had it. I'm like, somebody wants it. And they never came and got it. So, whatever. Help me out with this. Look, I don't think anybody can argue that these are probably the most awesome things in the world lately, or one of. I mean, come on. Think about what we can do with these things. But think about what we can do with these things. You know as well as I do there's negative. And they don't need that. They don't need, if I thought the kid walking down the hallway with the cell phone was looking up the latest thing on the Smithsonian, I wouldn't have a problem. Taking a virtual tour of the World War II Museum, outstanding. You know, and I know, and I'm going to get Albany here, they ain't doing that. That's not what they're doing. So, help me out with this one. Students, will there be a time when maybe We can look at something, maybe, but I need you to adhere to this first. Because if I can trust you to do this, I might be able to trust you to do something else. That's what we have to have, okay? Hoodies, okay. I think this is kind of a little bit of an issue, and it's an issue everywhere. It's not just Albany High. Hoodies, I know the kid, I don't know what is it with you people in the hoodies? It's 100 degrees and you want to wear a hoodie. I mean, I don't know, I don't get it, I don't, but I guess I'm not cool, okay, I'll own that, but you love your hoodies, okay. Understand where we're going to work with you on it. Guys, you understand at one time the parish policy was no hoodies? Not this color, that color, none. Administrators have worked with you over the years because we know you like them. We don't know why you like them, but you like them. We've even expanded it by saying you can wear that school-related hoodie. That was a no-no until a year ago. We're working with you. Like Jerry Maguire, help me help you. Stay within the box. Plain white, plain navy, or Albany related. And I don't know if it's Albany football, Albany baseball, Albany fishing club, Albany that I bought in Walmart. Albany, okay? And does it have to be maroon or white? I prefer it. But I know somebody's going to have somebody's going to say, oh, man, it's going to be pink. Okay. All right. You know, we'll see how that rolls, and then but just Albany related, please. Pullovers, you don't see these as much, but you do see them. Kind of, it's a sweatshirt. It's a hoodie without the pockets in the hood. Okay. It's the same as the hoodies. Plain white, plain navy, Albany related. Okay? Very simple. If it zips or buttons fully in the front, anything goes as long as it ain't inappropriate. I don't want the kid rolling around with the Marlboro sign on the back, okay? I don't even know if anybody even knows what those are anymore. Skirts and skirts. Holy cow. Please, 4 inches. And I mean 4 inches here and 4 inches here. And I know, guys, they're built differently. They are all built every which direction. And how they're built today is not how they're built in 3 months. I get it. But as a parent, you just need to be aware they grow. So you might have a plan in place. Now, I got an easy solution. If the hoodie or the scorched skirt is a problem, kids ain't going to want to hear this, but I got an easy solution. Pants. Wear the pants. Or shorts. Now, the shorts need to be 4 inches too. They don't need to be rolled up like this. 4 inches. But please, the skirts and the skirts. And again, it's not Albany thing. I came from Walker. I've been to Denham before. I've visited other campuses. And every administrator's got the same look on their face when the kids come up. They're like, oh. Okay? So please, 4 inches, top of the knee, help us out with that. This started to kind of come in lately. The uniform companies, they're smart. They start making stuff the color and the look, but they try to tailor it to what the kids want. So if you got like jeggings, or is that what they call them? Jeggings, ladies? Jeggings? Leggings? If they can stand here and go with the pants, that's a no-no. Okay? So if they're wearing the stuff that they can pull out here and it goes, no. Okay? That's not pants. Most of that doesn't have a button or zipper in the front, so that's one way you can definitely tell. If they don't have a button or a zipper, it's a no-no, okay? Unless they have some sort of reason that they need to wear that, and there are exceptions, I'm going to get into that. Please, by all means, fix that. No stretch pants, jeggings, leggings, whatever you call those things. Tardies, just be on time, please. Get to class. You have a spot to be. Get there, students. Help me out. Now, parents, I can tell you, I'm looking into I probably shouldn't let this out, but I'm looking into it. I don't know if I'm going to go there, but something called a Tardy Kiosk, where when they're tardy, they don't come to the office. They go to this little computer. They scan their ID. You get an email. And if it's time for a detention for those tardies, you get the email telling them when the detention is. So I am looking at getting that program. I don't know if I'm going to have it in line just yet, but that's going to be an easy way to track tardies for us, but also for you. Because you can easily, when they get, oh, I saw you were late getting a third, they're at, why? Whoa, you know, the kids, when they have no place to hide, it's funny to watch them. You know, they can come up with a good story, but when you got the thing that sits right there, they're like, well, I was going in, and I ran into, okay. Just get to class. Does everybody understand that attendance is taken by class in high school? Okay, what I mean by that is every hour is tracked. So it's not like junior high or elementary. If you were there for half the day, you got credit for the day or half the day or whatever. If you are late getting to first hour beyond a point, let's just say a magic number. I'm going to say 8 o'clock, whatever. Let's say you check in at 8:02 20 times during the first semester. Guys, that's 20 absences. You're going to fail that class, and I don't care if you got an A because you have not put in the seat time. So attendance is tracked by the hour. So yes, you can pass all your other classes, but you can fail 7th hour because you checked out 100 million times without an excuse. So make sure they need to be in class, and don't check them out or check them in late unless you absolutely have to or you have a doctor's. And sometimes I know life's going to happen. You may not have an excuse, and that's okay. But just be very aware of that. Hair color, this is mostly the young ladies. I don't see any real things out here, but I know over the summer they tend to get a little wild. They tend to get the little streaky. Please keep it a natural color. And look, I'm not going to get really crazy about what's natural, but we know purple's not natural. Not on this planet. Profanity, clean it up. I don't want to hear it. Okay, students. 2 biggest problems I had at Walker Freshman: gum chewing and profanity. So they were either putting something in it to make it smell good, or I was going to say crap, should I say? Stuff was coming out. Okay? Clean it up, no profanity. That's going to be a ding. All right, we know this is the big one. We've seen an issue with this in the last few years. Guys, listen to me very carefully, students. I don't care if you were passing it to somebody. I don't care if you had it in your pocket. I don't care if you picked it up off the floor. Don't touch it. Because I am not going to distinguish whether or not you were using it or just had it or you were just passing it. Don't touch it. Okay? There's going to be no discussion. If you have possession or had possession of a vape, whether you were using it or had it in your pocket or had it in your book sack, you are responsible for that, and you will be suspended. It is a nicotine product at best, and we know some of them can have stuff that can be very serious. And yes, they've taught us administrators what to look for to test those things. Keep it off my campus. Don't bring it. If you're into that, it's between you and the good Lord out there on the street. But when you hit that parking lot, and the parking lot does count, the bus does count, the bus stop does count, because I've seen them do that. Get off the bus, walk right over. This back when, it's back to when kids actually smoked a cigarette. Y'all remember when that was? A little girl walked right to a mailbox. I kid you not. The bus driver said she almost ran off the road. She was watching the mirror. She was pulling off. Girl went right into the mailbox, pulled out a cigarette, and lit up and started smoking at the bus stop. So I called her in the next day. Well, yeah, but I'm home. No, you're not. That's the bus stop. Doorstep to doorstep. Once you hit the doorstep of your house, you're home. Then I don't care what you smoke on your porch. But that bus stop still counts. Don't do it. Don't fight. Come on. It's not, guys, it don't settle a thing. It doesn't. It does not. Don't fight. And I know you're gonna, and I know there's gonna be fights. That's gonna happen. But please, by all means, come sit down with me, or Mr. Watts, or Miss Carter, or our counselor, if maybe we could. Sit down. Let's figure out what the problem is, because a lot of times when you start talking to 2 students, well, he said, well, I heard you said, well, did you say that? Well, no, I didn't say that. Well, did you say? No, I didn't say that. Well, who said it? Well, Johnny said, oh, well, we see what's happened. You know, Johnny thinks this is free entertainment, and he's real good at stirring that little pot. You two guys are about to fight, go home for 3 days. Johnny's going to go to class giggling because he thought it was the coolest thing in the world to get you to fight. Okay? Don't be somebody's fool. Okay? If you have questions, please contact us. As I said, I'm not going to get into a Q&A tonight because, you know, again, I don't want to kind of lengthen this thing. I know people have a place to go. Plus, sometimes those Q&As can get a little more personal about you and your child. I don't want to do that in an open forum, okay? So I'm not, you know, my freshman I did it, but it was a little smaller group, and I didn't mind doing it. But here I don't want to get into that. That's our phone number. That's my email. So you can email me directly. If, you know, I may forward you to someone else, but it's not because I don't want to talk to you. It's because, well, it's a discipline issue. It needs to go to Mr. Watts. Well, it's an attendance issue. It needs to go to Ms. Carter. It's a scheduling issue. Go to Mr. Lights, whatever. But I'll at least return it. And guys, look, if you do email us, please be understanding, especially my teachers. You emailed them at 8:30 in the morning. At 9:50, don't call me and say, that's not returning my email. Well, you know why? They're teaching, which is what I want them doing. So give them a little bit of leeway on that, okay? Give them at least, you know, a 12, 24-hour window, because some of them have already had their planning period. They're probably like you. They get to the end of the day, they want to go home, and I encourage them, go home and shut down. Okay, because I am a big believer in this. You can give me a great John Deere tractor, brand new. But if I run it to death, it's going to break down on me. I don't want those folks breaking down on me, okay? So I want to do what I can to guard their health. So give them a little bit of leeway, and I know you will, so be understanding. And if you want to be mad at me. I'm okay with that. Like my boss used to say at Walker, sometimes a parent just wants to blow your hair back. I don't know if that was a dig at me or that was his famous saying. It was David Clark. It was a dig at me, I know. But it's true. Look, guys, you can come in there and you could all over me. And okay. Now that you've got that out your system, how can we fix it? Because that's what I'm interested in. We can talk about what happened, and there may be some time for correction on what I don't know what it would be. But let's see what we can do moving forward. That's what's important, because that's why you're here, I'm sure. Okay? So again, don't be afraid to ask. You know, again, communicate. That's our website. So please, by all means, follow us on every bit of social media. We have a Facebook. How many of you in here have not, well, I don't, okay, let's say this. How many of you in here have downloaded the app? Okay, good. If you haven't, I encourage you to do so. That's parents, students, everyone. The app is really a great tool for me to be able to get information out really quickly. I back that up with Messenger, and then we'll back it up with the Facebook and the website. I'm the kind of guy, I like to do what's easiest. That app is so easy for me to do. And then Messenger, and then Facebook. So a lot of times I'm going to double it. And I'm doubling a lot of it right now because a lot of people, I think, still don't have the app. But when I feel confident that the community as a whole has the app, then I'll probably only use the Messenger when I really, really have to. Because I know sometimes you don't want to answer the phone. And I try not to call you. Guys, if I do the Messenger and I call you, please make sure you take that call, because I don't call often. It's something that's important, okay? Usually I'll just send out the little text message, because you can always go back and reference that text message later. Or you can look at it later if you're having dinner. You don't want to look at what I got to say. I get it, okay? I want to do some quick thank yous before we get out of here. Guys, first of all, Bethlehem Baptist Church, y'all can give the staff a hand for setting this up for me. David Landry told me they could have had a fog machine and intro music for me, but I told him no. They said I could have the pulpit. I said, absolutely not. I said, you're going to get me in a suit. That's about as far as I'm going. Because the last little kid that showed up at our church, he was a little boy, and he wore a little tie. And my mom goes, oh, you're so cute. You know, if you wear a tie, you got to preach. That poor child never wore a tie again. So I'm like, no, don't. But I want to thank them. Guys, I want to thank the town of Albany. JoJo Foster, Chief Boyd Wilder here, our mayor, our town maintenance guys. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Ben Thompson refused to not give me help today. I was like, Ben, I think we're okay for right now. No, you're getting 2 people. What are they doing? Okay, just have been phenomenal with some of the things around campus, some of the projects. And good news, wall construction was there today putting up awnings. So that's a plus, and I'm excited about that. It's funny because somebody, I think it was my wife, goes, hey, have you seen it putting up the awnings? Like, I ain't even got out of the office today. Are you kidding me? But I want to thank the town of Albany for what they've done. And again, their support is just phenomenal. AHS football, because they actually helped to do some stuff the other day, begrudgingly at times, but the Albany High School staff, a lot of them are here. Guys, if y'all don't mind, stand up, please. I want you to be recognized. Number one, they didn't have to be here. I told them, look, I know it's your summer. You got vacations. You got whatever. You don't have. They chose to come on their own. Also, doing stuff with that I needed. Just I'm not a techie guy. I feel like I have great ideas. I'm just not a techie guy. But they made some stuff happen, helping out with some things that I wanted to do around campus. And it was like, well, and I'm trying to learn the program, and the teacher's going, well, I can just do that. Matter of fact, I got a program. And I'm like, well, okay, well, I'll tell you what, get a pencil and a paper. Let's walk around. I'll tell you what I want, and you just go for it, okay? But they've been phenomenal, just welcoming me and helping out and assisting things. My family, not just my immediate family, but my close family or my extended family that I know from Albany. I just want to, again, reach out to them for all the support. I'm not going to get out of here without this one. My wife, who has been up at the school a great bit, just helping to do the things that she knew that I wanted to get done that there was no way I could get done. So I just want to recognize my wife, Darla, for that. And lastly, and certainly not least, you. Again, this is my home. I appreciate it, guys, for y'all coming out. I appreciate you, giving your time. I know the support that you're going to give, not me, but those people that are sitting out there with you or at home right now. That's what's important. You support them. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You support them, and you're supporting me. I don't need that attaboy from you. Like anybody else, everybody always appreciates hearing whatever. But guys, you keep those people going, okay? That keeps me going. You don't have to reach out to me. You just keep them, because they're the ones that are in the trenches. They're the ones that are struggling maybe in a class or struggling with some sort of issue at school, be it social, emotional. We know they have those struggles. Okay? Stay in their lives. Right now they're going to say, why are you in my business? Later on they're going to come to you and say, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. And that's what you would rather hear, is thank you, I appreciate it that you did, and not why didn't you? Okay? But again, guys, thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it. Again, have a good evening, and be safe. And if you have any questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at the school. Okay? You have a good night. Whew. Uh-huh.
So, is it allowed?
Here, let me turn it.